What's going on YouTube? Dreadlife 101 back at y'all today with another video. Make sure y'all check out my other videos. If you haven't seen those, make sure you check those out right after this one. So today, only thing we're going to be discussing is healthy dreads. What we can do to make sure that they're in the right state, make sure they're developing properly, what we can do to make sure they're staying in that state. Definitely talk about over maintenancing your hair, over wrapping our hair. Just a few things that we're going to pinpoint on today to make sure we're going to stay in a good lane and a good standing with our dreads. You guys ready? Let's go. So over processing your hair is a major concern. You definitely don't want to overdo anything when it comes to your hair. One thing to look out for is your maintenance routine. And by that I mean when you wash, retwist. Mainly retwist is the main thing that I'm hitting on today. You don't want to retwist your hair more than twice a month. Newbie or the veterans, you definitely don't want to add that major stress to your hair because it's eventually going to start to die off, get stressed out, and then it's just going to fall off. And the crazy part about that is it's not really just going to fall off unless it's at the root or it's really, really weak. Most of the people's hair, when it actually breaks off, just stays attached to the dread because it's all in dread form and it's all kind of branched and wrapped together. So it doesn't ever even go anywhere. So if you ever thought about combing out your dreads or doing something like that in that nature, you might be combing out your dreads and realize you don't have any hair because all this time you've been over stressing your hair out. You've been retwisting and putting on too much stress, and it's basically just damaged now. So another way you can over process your hair is by adding products to it every day. That being your daily hair routine. When you wake up, if you are in the office or you have to be somewhere where you have to be presentable, that's very understood. But what you don't want to do is add product to your hair every day unless you're actually washing it out every day or every other day. If you aren't washing it out, you should try to look for something that's extremely light. Your hair usually holds onto oil very well. What you might be adding to your hair every other day is maybe a moisturizer with water. Just make sure that product is very, very light, because whatever you add onto your hair and you're not washing it out, ultimately it just sticks around and stays attached to the inside of your dread. And then doing that obviously just causes more situations and problems down the line. A lot of product buildup, a lot of mold, bacteria starts to culture on the inside of your dread. And we don't want that because we want to keep our hair in the end. And so again, here we are back to this one. Definitely a way you can over process your hair or add stress to it is by the retwisting. If you're gonna retwist or try to put the pattern or like a style in your hair, I would suggest just stay away from your roots. Don't retwist your roots. Just go ahead and do a braid out or braid to the back or do whatever you're going to do. Leave the roots alone. If you start retwisting your hair at the root all the time, that whole lock is going to be gone eventually. You're going to have scalp damage, alopecia, a lot of crazy stuff going on with your hair because you're adding a lot of stress to it. Also, retwisting your hair, what product are you using it all the time? Are you constantly just adding on? That's definitely not good. Most people, without even realizing, overprocess their hair or add extra stress and damage to their hair is by putting a mixture or a blend of random oils in their hair. Now, the oil that you get from the store, it's already going to be a concoction of multiple oils already. So unless you're going to get a specific concentrate and that's all it is, you are basically making a mixture of oils that you don't really know or understand the chemical makeup of. Oils, how they work is basically latch themselves on to the inner pores of your hair. Now, once you start to blend those oils, all those oils aren't always good to blend together. Just like chemicals underneath the sink, just because bleach makes things whiter and then you want to add a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Doing that mixture is actually going to cause bacteria and mold to start to culture and develop inside of that, because some oils actually blend together and start to actually generate life inside of that mixture. So as they're going inside of the pores of your hair and your follicle, they'll actually start to thrive and grow bacteria inside of there. So that's something you don't want. Just be careful of what you're putting in your hair as far as the contents that are in them and how they are gonna chemically react between each other once they enter your head. And this one right here, I can definitely speak from experience. If you're thinking about coloring your hair or lightening your hair, you definitely want to do your research. I did not. I learned it the hard way, did it several times, and I was walking around with my hair looking like this color, like very, very straw yellow. Ended up fixing it. Long story short, here I am today making sure you guys don't follow through with the same steps and mistakes that I made. So if you're going to dye your hair, color your hair, make sure you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, go to a professional. Go to somebody that realizes that what they're doing can cause you to lose hair. Because if you just go and grab a box of bleach or do something and put something in your hair and your hair reacts to it, that might just be the end of your hair or the end of that length, however, whatever part of your hair that you put it in. And most people just go straight for the root when it comes to the dye. You might lose all your hair. So just be mindful of what type of dye or coloring agents that you want to put in your hair. Make sure it's safe. Bleaching is not safe for your hair. Light bleach, heavy bleach, little bit of bleach, it ain't good because it's literally stripping away the minerals and the building blocks of your actual hair. So it basically can kill your hair without you losing the hair. And it looks pretty disgusting. It looks very, very, very disgusting, like doll's hair. Now, as I have dreads, I don't do this as often, but I can see definitely why this would be a way to over process your hair or a way for your hair to become damaged. So back when I had waves or short hair, I wore the do-rag on all the time. Constantly had the do-rag on, brushing my hair, do-rag on, and I constantly got that line across my forehead, in the back of my hair, and in the back of my hair, I was losing hair because even though it's satin, it's still cutting off a circulation to my hair, and as well as causing friction when I'm asleep or I'm doing stuff or I'm moving around or whatever. It's causing a lot of friction on my hair. So short hair or long hair is going to cause a little bit of friction. So when it comes to wrapping your hair, make sure it's not too tight. Make sure that you got something comfortable that's going to stay on there. But if you start to over wrap your hair, for one, if your hair isn't dry, you're basically just creating an extra space for bacteria to start growing. So if you retwist your hair, throw on the wave cap or the wrap or whatever and go to sleep, that potentially can lead to bacteria growing inside of your dreads overnight. It doesn't take long. They like darkness and they like moisture. It does not take that long for mold and bacteria to start to grow inside of your hair. So when it comes to dreads, it's hair. It's alive. Everything that you need from the start of your digestion system all the way to the end of it is basically the same thing. It needs water, it needs oxygen, and it needs sunlight, whether you think you need sunlight or not. So make sure that you're not wearing the caps and the wraps and all that stuff too much, especially if you're outside. If you can bury your hair to the elements, do it. Get rain in your hair, get natural sunlight in your hair. Make sure the air can flow through your hair. For one, it's going to help dry up anything that's in there that's moist and wet, especially if you sweat a lot. The sunlight is obviously going to be feeding your hair. Like, you need sunlight for your skin. You need sunlight to be happy. You need sunlight more than you think. You need sunlight as much as you need water and air and food. So make sure you're letting your hair experience some actual breathing. Don't always throw on the cap. Don't always throw on the do-rag. I'm one of the biggest freaking hat people. Like, you probably could see behind me back here in my closet. I got a whole section of hats. Like, that's my thing, is wearing a hat. So this year, one of my regiments, if you've seen that video, definitely know that I'm going to be rocking the hair out a lot more this year. So the last step to having healthy dreads, before I just start running on and talking y'all ear off, y'all probably got stuff to get back to do, is your diet. anything that you're putting inside of your body, realize it literally is going to your hair, your skin, your nails, your whole entire bodily composition is what you digest. So if you're eating crap food, you're gonna have a crappy physique, right? Just be mindful of it. 8 glasses of water a day is not that hard. You can sit at the bar and drink 12 freaking bottles of Bud Light or whatever you drink, Coronas. You can sit and take shots back to back, but not 8 bottles of water, not 8 ounces of water a day. Make sure you guys are eating healthy because what goes inside of your body definitely matters. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope I didn't preach too much. If you guys got any comments, make sure you leave them in the comments section. If you like this video, make sure you like it. And as always, if you're not a subscriber already, make sure you subscribe. Dreadlife 101, I'm gonna holla at you.